Ladies and gentlemen, the Sicilian Kan, one more video with this amazing defense. How do we get there? We play e6 and then we play a6. That's the start of the Sicilian Kan. Now I have many videos on my website, but the pawn goes to b5 or b6 so that the bishop can go on the long diagonal. The knight on b8 can go to c6 or d7. Now the queen most often goes to c7, but we'll see it can go to b6 as well. Finally, our knight here goes to f6, and we push the pawn over here. That bishop may end up on c5, but also on c7. With that, let's go. Let's see Praagnanandha with the black pieces, young prodigy from India, is also playing that opening. And now a3 is played because white doesn't want black to play b4. That knight would have to go back to b1. So the game goes on. And now we have a classic position. What to do here? Well, we'll go for the attack with h5. We play aggressively with black. Queen g3, knight g4. And we have the pawn supporting the knight and the queen targeting checkmate on h2. So white takes and plays g3. Now, if the queen were to be anywhere on this h file, we would threaten queen h2 checkmate. So Prague play queen e5, centralizing the queen. Rook at d1, and now queen h5 threatening checkmate. h4 defense, we take, king h2, and now what? Queen f3, of course, threatening checkmate on g2. Rook g1 defense, and now what? Well, to increase the pressure, f5. And on the best move not playing the game, bishop d4, we would take here, and black is up 2 pawn with a bishop pair. But that was a blitz game. White took on f5, and now we finish with a beautiful queen g2 check. Rook takes, check with the rook on h8, the king goes back, and the elegant finish, rook h1, checkmate, curtains. Beautiful stuff. So now, if I were to summarize what was this opening all about, you have here all the moves. You can replay at your leisure by pausing the video here. And you have here the position after h5. And of course, knight g4 was a main threat in this game, opening up the h file and winning in 19 moves. Let's go to the next game. In the next game, white is trying the setup bishop e3, queen d2, f3, long castle to attack us. This is a very annoying system. Let's see how to deal with that. We play b5, we play bishop b7, f3, knight f6. And here, white aggressively play g4. We play h6 because we don't want g5 to happen yet. Long castle. So now white is playing a very different system here. We play b4. Now, if the knight were to go on a4, we would do d5 with a very nice game. But in this particular game, the Grandmaster with white play knight e2. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be very careful. We may want to play d5, but e5 is tricky. We cannot take here because bishop f4 we trap our queen. So what to do on this move? Well, Stockfish agrees. The best move played by the Grandmaster here with the black pieces was e5. The knight comes to f5, and only now we play d5. The difference here is like white doesn't have e4, e5. So g5 is played, and here we play knight bd7. Our king in the center, so we need to be careful, but we have counterplay. White took, take, knight g3. And here we go with the attack. Bishop take a2. And now f4 is played, threatening to take here and here, very sharp. But here black has a beautiful knight c5. And now we're threatening checkmate. Not only we threaten the king, but we attack here. So the only way to defend that is to put the bishop, we gain a piece. Queen g2 though, and now we have a threat. Rook c8, rook he1. This is extremely sharp, but we can win by doing check. And here we go for the king, check. And now we have knight takes e1. What is the point of this long line? If white were to take here, we do have queen a5. And all of a sudden, we recapture the rook, winning the game. So queen e2, and that knight can escape here. And here we play knight b4. Now, white took here, very dangerous because they're threatening this check here, and our king is in danger, but we strike first. Rook take h2. Beautiful motif. And if queen h2, what is the idea? Queen a5, threatening checkmate here. Yes, you can give a check, but I'm going to take. You can give another check. I come back. And now white cannot avoid queen a2, checkmate. Beautiful game. What is our summary? It's here. You have all the moves and the move order on your left. But the key idea is to play e5 on move 11. And then after that, blast the center with d5. Feel free to replay this amazing game. And let's go to the next one. And the next game is brought to us by Pia Cramling. She's a true expert of this system, and she shows us a different way to play with the black pieces. She goes queen c7, which is logical, and now bishop g3, she plays bishop c5. So she's attacking the knight on d4. Now the knight retreats, and now you have a choice. You could play bishop a7, but in this game, she chose bishop e7. Castle, d6, f4, knight d7, queen f3, we develop our knight, bishop d2, b6. So now we have a hedgehog, and she decided not to put the pawn on b5, but stop on b6. Now, the bishop will go to b7. We have a very compact center here. Our knight are developed on f6 and d7, and we have the other bishop here. It's very hard to break through for white. We'll see exactly why. So now we have achieved our hedgehog, and white play queen g3, attacking the g7 pawn. So we play g6, king h1, and here we play h5. Now, instead of king h1, if white were to play f5 right away, we would probably take, and here play e5 to close the e file. But king h1 was played, h5, and only now whites play f5. We take, and here white play queen h3. What happened to e takes f5? We can play rook g8, attacking g3, but even better is to play e5. Now we're threatening rook g8, bishop takes g2. So white could try to block us on the g file. But here, very important, you play long castle, and you're ready to attack d5, e4, and you have a lot of play. Over here, your king on c8 is safe. So therefore, queen h3 played, rook g8, and we play long castle with black. White took, and we play e5. Remember that, you close the e file, you open the g file. Knight e4 played, rook g4, the best move for black, take, And here, we double the rooks on the G file. Rook G1, you can see white is defending. And here, if it was me to play, I will go G5, followed by E4. But Pia Cramling play E5. She wants to push back this knight over here. Bishop E2 attacks the rook. Knight E4 attacks the rook on F2. Rook moves, and now feel free to pause the video. Black to play and win. And here, Pia Cramling played the very best move in the position, Rook H4. And now the rook on H4 is defending by our bishop, and the queen here has nowhere to go. So we have beautiful domination in 24 moves in a Sicilian Kan using a different system. And now, once again, the key here, you have the game moves on your left and the position after B6. It's a hedgehog where you are compact but ready to counter-attack. Beautiful game. Let's see one more example. And in this game, black is played by Grandmaster Be3 Andreikin. Nancy 3 played, and he goes B5. Now we know that we can also play Queen C7 like in the previous game. B5 play, Bishop G3 is the best move according to computers here. And here Andreikin plays Queen B6 because he's attacking the knight on D4. The knight retreats, Bishop B7, Bishop E3 attacks the queen, Queen C7, and we develop our pieces. A3 logical, Bishop E7, King H1, D6. So we have our hedgehog again, but in this case, the pawn is on B5 as opposed to B6, and we're gonna put our knight to D7. The other knight is here, our bishops are well positioned. Let's see how we play this position on the black side. So here, Andreikin goes for H5. We're familiar with that because we have Knight G4 on top and H4, H3 as well. A beautiful bishop lined up here. Let's go. F5, white is attacking. What do we learn from our previous game? We want to keep the E file closed. So we play E5 ourselves, Knight F3, and then what do we do here? H4. Now, in the game, white did not play H3. On H3, I think black will go Knight H5, threatening Knight G3, so Bishop H2 is kind of forced. And here, Queen A8, we have our battery and a lot of pressure over here. So we could continue to pressure E4 by playing Knight C5 next, right? Beautiful stuff. So in the game, Rook AD1, we go H3, G3 to close the H5 logical, Queen A8 attacking E4, 92 defense E4. So now we have a lot of pressure. This is black to play. And what do? The rook takes C3. That's an exchange sack. We gave up the rook. Why? Because we have D5 on top. And now we have so much pressure. Knight C5, D takes E4, and we're coming at the white king. Bishop E3 played. We took here. Take. White gave up a bishop. And here we conclude with our favorite, Knight G4. White resign. Well, if the bishop retreats, E3, and we have checkmate. And if we defend the bishop here, we can simply play castle, Knight F6, and only now we can take and play Knight G4. And when the queen moves, we're playing Bishop C5 followed by E3. And on Queen B6 here, we have a choice between Rook B8 or playing E3 followed by Bishop H1, Knight F2. Everything is absolutely winning for black. So if I sum up in this variation, what do we learn in this last game? We played the hedgehog again with B5, But then again, we have h5 attacking on both sides of the board. The Hedgehog is such a great compact formation setup. You know where your pieces go, and you go for the attack. So with that, we had 4 games, 4 different ways to play for a win, and these are the Grandmaster secrets of the Sicilian Kan. I hope you enjoy these opening traps and opening survey, and I'll see you in the next one.